Hello everyone, it is me, Game Penguin 21, and today, well, I just kind of wanted to talk about a couple random things that I found on the internet. Now, to be fair, there is a lot that happens in this context, and there is a lot of stuff that goes on, and I'm not the only commentary channel out there. But there is a couple things that I did want to talk about this week that may or may not involve a few different weird. So I like to watch a lot of different types of commentary content and people that make similar content to the ones that I make. To be fair, though, the amount of times that I get talking about certain commentary content, and the reason why I make the videos that I do is because they're just easy, obviously. But today I wanted to talk about a couple topics that didn't deserve their own video. I've been doing a lot of these recently, but this one was a little bit special. So let's talk about them. So first up, we're going to talk about one that I actually retweeted on Twitter, and that being that there is an article out there that is on it's on a particular topic that I wanted to talk about. Now, normally I don't like to do articles, but doing articles in this context is probably more important, as there is a lot more things to talk about in this article, and I don't really have anything else to cover. So, let's talk about it. So, the Red Dragon posted, another dev has come out to say their sales are hurting by putting their games onto Game Pass. My God! Another one of these very interesting and very weird claims. Now, that's not to say that there isn't any sort of thing like this. There have been a number of these types of claims and stuff that have been happening recently, and things like that. But this article that he does link in the actual tweet is titled, Xbox Game Pass Hurts Sales, says dev behind Xbox Game Pass title. This is by GameSpot, and the dev in question is part of S'moreville, and it reveals how Xbox Game Pass hurt its sales. Let's get to this then, shall we? So, Dino Patti, the co-founder of Playdead and Jumpship, has revealed that Xbox Game Pass hurt the studio's sales for S'moreville. Very interesting start. According to the interview by Video Games Sigh, which I believe is more reputable source, unsure. When Patti first founded Jumpship, the studio originally pitched the game to Google Stadia, but ended up partnering with Microsoft to have its game launch on Xbox Game Pass. Now, bear that in mind that first paragraph is interesting in the way that we're talking about this. Because guess what? Patti was already in talks with Google Stadia. I mentioned this in my tweet, and I wanted to cover it a little bit because I think I misquoted this a little bit. And I will fully admit fault to that. I'm not going to delete it because they were already in talks with Google Stadia in this context, and they were worried about sales during these talks. Bear that in mind. In the interview, Patti says how the deal was good, but they also believe it may hurt their sales by saying, and quote, I also think it hurts sales because of people just going in and try it. And they don't invest. If they don't like it in the first 10 minutes, that's it. Also, if they don't make the first 10 minutes amazing, maybe it's also a problem. I think Game Pass is okay. It's not my favorite. My favorite is the old premium model, where I sell you some video on big images and earn your $30, and after that I have to deliver. I don't need to get money out of you later. Okay, let's break down this quote in a number of different facets, and we'll come at it from every angle. Starting off with, I think it also hurts. I also think it hurts sales because people just go in and try it and they don't invest. I mean, if the person likes your product, right? The person likes your product, they go and they try it, as in they would do demo stuff, and then they might give you money for it later because they have experience with it. It's not like there is an entire industry of marketing engineers out there, and I myself being a marketing person, wouldn't know the fact that a lot of marketing can be very deceptive, especially in the video game market, where there have been a number of times where a company has promised one thing, but under-delivered in several aspects, and including the fact that recent games have been more broken and more undeserving of $60, or rather, even in some cases, even $30. The only one that I can think of that was not released in that sort of state was Hi-Fi Rush, and that game shadow dropped the day that they announced it. So, with no hype or no anything. But again, there's a lot out there where there is high expectations but low on delivery. Next up is if they don't like the first 10 minutes, that's it. Also, if you don't like the first 10 minutes, amazing. If you don't make the first 10 minutes amazing, maybe it's also a problem. That's actually kind of true. I can see how that makes some sense to someone who is in the business. I think Game Pass is okay. It's not my favorite. My favorite is the old premium model where I sell you on some video on big images and earn your $30. Then after that, I have to deliver. I don't need to get money out of you later. So you're saying you want the person to have a less informed choice, kind of? Now, I'm not saying that the person will make a less informed choice if they just have the marketing material to go off of, because you can represent yourself in the correct, positive manner. However, and here's the big however, video games are an interactive medium, and that interactive medium oftentimes needs to be played with. And he's also leaving out a number of different factors. Just because I paid you $30 doesn't mean that you get that $30 immediately. It means that you earned it by the marketing stuff that you have there, which is why for some game places, including a lot of digital downloads as well, mainly on Steam, I'm just going to use them as the main example here, they give you roughly 2 hours to actually make the game purchase decision permanent on your account. If you don't like the game and you have under 2 hours and you fall within the regulations of you have under 2 hours playtime, or it's within a few weeks of actually doing it, it's mainly the 2 hour playtime thing. But if you have under 2 hours and you're saying that if they don't like it in the first 10 minutes that's it, then guess what? You don't even make that sale in the first place. If someone has 10 minutes on a game and then they go to return it, you don't make that money. That money goes directly back into the other consumer's pocket. It takes some time to finalize that purchase. That's why that sort of consumer-friendly stuff is important. But also, again, the old way of doing it isn't always the best. Just because you say, oh, I'm making all these big promises, doesn't mean that you deserve my $30. It really doesn't. The promise of the $30 is less important because, sure, my $30 is going towards something that I believe is okay, but it would be much more interesting and much more better for the consumer to make an informed decision to have, say, a free demo for no other reason than to just have a free demo. A lot of companies have missed this opportunity, and a lot of companies today don't want to do that. Why? Because, well, it's a free game, or it's a game that's not really good. Therefore, we want your money now, so that way we can just have it. So what you're saying in this context, according to this quote, to kind of simplify it, is that if the person doesn't like it in the first 10 minutes and they return it, you still make $30? I don't think that's how that works. But we continue. This aligns with what was previously said about Xbox Game Pass potentially hurting sales, and then it links to another article that GameSpot has made in this context. But that still hasn't stopped developers from working with Microsoft. Gee, I wonder why. Mike Rose, the founder of No More Robots, has told GameSpot that they've had games sell better when they're on or just leaving Game Pass. But at the same time, it also has also seen zero changes in sales, in the sales they were getting before or after. Rose said the biggest problem with Xbox Game Pass eating sales is that it's difficult to tell how many copies the game could sell on Xbox if it didn't launch on Game Pass. So you're telling me that you're providing evidence for both sides in the sense that, right, you can't tell a difference between those that would sell better if they were not on Game Pass versus those that would sell better off of Game Pass. And there seems to be no difference. Yet, somehow, Xbox Game Pass is diminishing sales because one person, game dev, was speculating that it would do so. He doesn't say that he knows that it does it, by the way. He says that it may hurt sales because the consumer doesn't have the invested interest in the first 10 minutes. To, again, use his own evidence against you. If the first 10 minutes of the game are that boring or that upsetting or that bad that a person doesn't want to return it or doesn't want to continue playing it, well, not doesn't want to return it, but they don't want to continue to return to that game and play it more, they're most likely going to return it. Like, 9 times out of 10, a person will return a game if they really don't like it, especially if it's a digital download, because that money then can go towards games that they will actually continue to play. I fail to see how Game Pass is hurting in this context, because, again, like I said, let's take Steam, for example, again. I pay $30 for a game, right, and I play it. First 10 minutes, absolutely broken, disgusting, and unplayable, and it is not able to be, and I'm not able to do it. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to return that game. 9 times out of 10, I will return that game because it's just not worth it. If I don't have any hours or anything like investment and time into this game that I just downloaded or just bought and it's not worth my money, I will return it. People aren't stupid to say, oh, well, I paid $30 already, so might as well make it work. It's like, how is this useful against anyone? How is that a strike against Game Pass? That it might, it might do that? But anyway. He then goes on to link another article, going back to the tweet for a moment. He then goes on to listen to, it's important to remember before Xbox fans starts harassing this dev or review bombing their game, Microsoft was the first to admit after lies of P said that it led to more sales, but then links to an article that was released in February that said Xbox Game Pass confirms that Game Pass leads to, quote, decline in sales. I am unsure as to where he found this specific article. And someone then said here, and they are paid the way they want, and if they aren't smart, they take a loss, simple as that. I'm not defending Game Pass. For me, it's all the same. Just buy a PC. I can agree to that. But what Phil Spencer said years ago on the devs has paid with full production costs and royalties, etc. So, they still do it. What I might also say again, in this context, is that these guys pitched the idea to Stadia. They pitched it to Stadia first, right? Why, okay, why pitch it to Stadia and not expect sales to drop? Like how is that different? Oh, well, you have to then buy the game after you buy it on Stadia and stuff like that. Okay, but if it's on Stadia and people think that it's exclusive to Stadia, which I don't think it was. I'm unsure as to what this game is. I don't even know this game existed before anything else. I didn't know. I really didn't know. Because there's been no marketing. There's been nothing talking about this game. The game studio, it's the sales for Smorville. I didn't even know this game existed before this article happened to be. So yeah. I think that'll do it for this one. I was going to talk about something completely different, but I found this Red Dragon reposting this article, and I think that it's more interesting to talk about this article than what I was originally going to talk about. So yeah. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this video. My name is GamePenguin21. Fanboy's gonna fanboy, and a peace. Off.